Hello there guys, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm here with my very first series of Unpopular Opinions. So these Unpopular Opinions are going to be all on the topic of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. And if you'd like to add your own unpopular opinion, please just go to my community tab and pop it down there. If you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet, please don't hesitate to do so. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Ebird99. And so the very first unpopular opinion which I'm going to weigh in on is from Usman. Now Sai has been subscribed to me for quite some time now and she's one of my favourite subs. So it's very fitting that I start with Sai. And so the unpopular opinion that Sai has put down is as follows. This is Yolanda's first time doing online dating, so she's unaware of the scams that go on. She also has an it won't happen to me mentality towards scams, and that's why she's in disbelief that the Williams is not a handsome young English chap. And so Sai, this is an excellent unpopular opinion, and a lot of people over the weeks have been putting this about Yolanda and I've seen it in a lot of places. So there's several points that I want to make about this. So I don't necessarily agree with this unpopular opinion. I think Yolanda's very much in the know. I think I said it a few weeks ago. I think Yolanda's pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. And with each passing week I feel as if her storyline gets more and more ludicrous. And so the first thing I want to point out is that I said initially that David was able to be scammed so easily by Lana and this dating site, inverted commas, because he was older and he was unaware of internet scams. Woo! I stand corrected. My subs got me together real quick on that one. So loads of you all wrote in and said, nope, I'm the same age as David or I'm older than David and I've been knowing about these scams for a good 15-20 years. David knows very well. David just doesn't want to believe. David has been scammed not because he's an older person, because he's a stupid person. And when I sat back and thought about it, I thought, yeah, they're right. It is more of a stupidity issue than an age issue. And whilst Sai didn't suggest that it was anything to do with Yolanda's age, I still think that Yolanda runs an online store. So she goes around charity shops and she buys old clothes and they sell them online. So it's not as if she's unaware of the community, the World Wide Web online. So I think that she is definitely aware of scams. And also I know in my heart of hearts, did Yolanda really think that she could pull Williams as Williams was in that photograph? Come on. Now quite often on this show we see people that are young and good looking with much older people, but usually there's a trade-off. So usually you have one person that's older and has seen better days, but they usually have money or a green card to tantalise the person and to reel them in. Yolanda's from America, Williams is allegedly from England. So what would have been in it for Williams? She also knew that Williams said he was single and had no kids. Yolanda has 6 grown kids. Does that sound like a match made in heaven? Also on the first episode, Yolanda tried to tell us, I love an English accent. Oh, come on now, Yo-Yo. Williams has got a very strong Nigerian accent. Some might say he's ostentatiously Nigerian. But even if she didn't recognise that it was a Nigerian accent, she would have been very, very sure it wasn't an English accent. We all know an English accent. And the next thing was, when Williams' Instagram deleted itself magically and somebody emailed her saying they had compromising photographs of her, she didn't seem unduly worried. And it's not just the fact that she wasn't unduly worried, nor were her kids when she told them. Now I'm going to tell you this for nothing. If somebody had photographs of my mother, compromising photographs, and I was doing a TV show, I would lock the shit down. I would have flown to England myself and met up with Williams myself to box him in his face. So really the laissez-faire attitude of her children over these alleged photographs was more than a little shady. And then my final point, which I came to this conclusion as soon as I heard about these photographs. I don't think that Yolanda would have sent somebody who has a body that looks like Williams compromising photographs of herself. How do I come to this conclusion, I hear you ask? Well, let me tell you, there's one bit of evidence, there's one smoking gun which leads me to believe this is extremely unlikely. So Yolanda used to be £300, 320 I think pounds, which is extremely heavy. She's obviously lost all the weight, well done Yolanda, but we've all watched these weight loss programs, haven't we? What happens when you lose loads of weight and you've been that weight for 20 or 30 years? You have excess skin here, there and everywhere. Now most people live with the excess skin until they can afford to have an operation which basically they just cut the excess skin off and stitch you up. So we're expected to believe that either A, she unfurled her excess skin from her jeans, snapped it and sent it to Williams, or she proudly showed off the scars from her plastic surgery after the excess skin was taken away, took photographs and uploaded it to the World Wide Web. I don't know, it just doesn't sound likely. With the best will in the world, I doubt Yolanda had a body which she thought Williams could compare to a summer's day. So in a nutshell, I don't believe the whole storyline. And so thank you to Sai for sending that in. I do know a lot of people thought the same thing, but yeah, I don't really agree. I think she's cognizant of internet scams, and I think she's trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. And that's the main reason why I didn't bother to cover her so-called storyline this season. And so the next unpopular opinion is from Anna KW, and her unpopular opinion is as follows. It always annoys me when people doubt anyone's stated sexual preference. You can't say because they are girly that they aren't lesbians. Open your horizons. No one ever takes me for gay. Guess what? I am, decides your backward stereotyping. And so I'm going to take a leap of faith and assume that you're talking about Stephanie and Erika. So my reason really for saying that I thought Stephanie was gay for pay is not because I'd stereotyped her as too girly to be a lesbian. I don't think that she actually ever said she was a lesbian. I think both of them are bi. And I gotta tell you, I don't know what a bi person is supposed to look like. But there's 2 points I want to make here. Firstly, the Ebird's gaydar ain't shiz. Even if someone's really obviously gay, I can never tell. It's always been very, very poor. I don't know, I've got no clue why this is. But other people seem to click onto things a lot sooner than I do. So I don't ever think that I can look at somebody and know. However, with Stephanie, she told a series of lies when she first came onto the show, which made me think that this whole I'm in love and it's with a girl was all put on. The first one is that she speaks about her bi-curious experiences on her YouTube channel. If it was the secret that you say, Stephanie, weren't you worried that your mum or one of your mum's friends or another member of your family would look at your YouTube channel and say something? It's there for everybody to see. So why all the secrecy? The second point is, when she met Erika, there was no sexual chemistry there whatsoever, and every time it seemed like they were going to have to get closer to each other or kiss or do anything, she created an argument immediately. The third thing was, she was also extremely reluctant to tell her mum, even though that she knew this is televised, so my mum's going to know sooner or later anyway. What's the big deal? And so they're really my reasons for thinking that Stephanie was pulling the wool over her eyes by saying that she was bisexual. I think she just wanted to get on TV. She was clout chasing. She wanted more views on her YouTube channel, which she got. And I don't think the relationship was real in any way, shape or form. So I hope this clears it up somewhat, Anna. I wasn't just kind of looking at her and thinking, no, she doesn't look like a lesbian. I was just looking at her actions and thinking, there's an incongruency there that I can't quite put my finger on. And my next unpopular opinion is regarding Ash and Avery. It's from InNY, and this unpopular opinion is as follows. It feels like Avery believed that Ash was insincere before she left to see him, and the whole time she was there, she was on a mission to prove it. Every wrong word he said and everything he did, she was playing the gotcha game. And actually, I agree with this unpopular opinion. I think that Avery was looking to trip Ash up, and she was always side-eyeing everything he did. And I think even when she went into his so-called coaching seminar, she wanted at the end to be able to say, ha, I knew this wasn't true. You don't know what you're talking about. And she was obviously able to do it, but she just wanted to prove it all to us. Also, at the very start of the season, when she was talking to her friends and explaining to them why she fell out with him, it seemed as if they were very sceptical of him as well. And the only reason that your friends are really sceptical of someone, I think, is because that's what you've given off in the first instance. I think she gave us all the negatives of Ash and not really any of the positives, because that's exactly how she was feeling. So I agree with this unpopular opinion as well. And a similar unpopular opinion comes from Marshmallow Joy, who says Avery never asked Sian what she needed to get to know her. Avery wasn't interested in Taj's well-being, only Ash's peccadillos. So yeah, it's interesting that Avery never asked Sian, did Ash cheat? Or what happened with your relationship? Why did it end? And she made much ado of the fact that they'd only been divorced a few months before they met. And she also never asked Sian, did you ever say that Taj could come to America? Was Ash telling me the truth when he said that you were open to it? Because I think if she had have asked that, she knew the answer. No, Sian never said that she was happy with it, but it seems like Avery didn't really want to know that. Avery just wanted to say, oh look, Ash lied to me about the date of his divorce. So again, yes, I concur with that unpopular opinion. I do think that Avery was looking to trip Ash up. And another of my frequent commenters, Brent Mace, has an unpopular opinion on, yes, you guessed it, Ash and Avery again. And he says, I think Ash is getting the short end of the stick in terms of how the show portrayed him. I keep hearing phrases like, he's a psychopath and a phony. But even his ex-wife really only said good things about him, and if anyone would reveal his true personality, it would be her. Avery doesn't seem like a good partner either. I don't think she's a mentally stable person. Just the vibe she gives off. Yeah, this is an unpopular opinion, but I think actually, for once, I agree that Ash is getting the short end of the stick to some extent, and I think the show did portray him in a certain way. They only ever showed him with one of his one-to-one clients, which is the majority of what he does, and they showed us a few seconds where he seemed to be flirting, and has somehow managed to make a living from this relationship coaching, but yet none of this was shown on the programme itself. His ex-wife said he's in essence a good person, and I managed to find out a little bit of detail about Sian, and she's actually a licensed psychologist herself, so I don't think he's managed to kind of pull the wool over her eyes, and she didn't really portray him to be a bad partner or reveal anything particularly bad about him, and she seemed to just want to assess Avery and see if she thought Avery and him were going to be a good fit. As for Avery being not mentally stable, yeah, I think that could possibly be true. Her decision making processes are fairly poor, and there's one major flaw in Avery which people seem to have overlooked, and that's this. Either way you looked at it, she was either planning to take Ash to the US and therefore make him have a very long distance relationship with his 9-year-old son, or she was planning to bring Taj with Ash to the US, therefore making Taj have a long distance relationship with his mother. Either one of those two choices would have been unpalatable to the majority of people, which surely means that her capability to make reasonable decisions based around a relationship aren't great. So yes, again, I agree with this unpopular opinion. Guys, weigh in and let me know what you think at the end of the video, and I will give you some more unpopular opinions later in the week. If you haven't done so yet, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to like and share, and follow me on Twitter at Ebird99. Very quickly before we go, I'm going to squeeze in one more unpopular opinion, and this is about Darcy. And this is from D-Dub, and D-Dub says, my unpopular opinion is that I'm not entertained by Darcy and her quest for international love. I would like for her to disappear from TV and social media for at least 2 years. And with the exception of the Ebird, I think that actually classes as a popular opinion, because my comments are filled with people saying Darcy is not right for TV, she seems mentally very fragile, and she doesn't seem to be able to make decent decisions with regard to the guys that she gets involved with. And I think that she's proved this time and again during her time with 90 Day Fiance. So I completely agree with this. I also think that Darcy needs to possibly calm down a little bit on the drinking, or if not, at least don't drink when you're being filmed, and also work on herself, get some self-worth, and to stop trying to define yourself in terms of who your boyfriend is, who your partner is, and putting your happiness in the hands of somebody else, i.e. a partner. So I think it's a very good plan for Darcy to take a break from this whole reality TV thing for a couple of years and wait for the dust to settle. Thank you so much for listening, guys. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Ciao for now.